Welcome to the Barker Podcast Collection.
Welcome to the Not Watching Podcast. My name's Rob Howard, and this week I'm joined by
Ian Bruce
and Marcus Hurley.
Stranger Things 2 has been confirmed. I think we all thought this was going to happen anyway.
Oh, we were talking about the Duffer Brothers last week, weren't we? Oh, that's excellent news.
We were, yeah. Or the week, or in a few weeks' time. However I do this. I don't think it's any surprise. They haven't really said too much about it. I think. Oh yeah, that's right. They said that this one is going to be like what Aliens was to Alien. So, I guess just expanding what they had. I dare say Netflix are going to throw a bit more cash at them this time. I think we're getting 9 episodes instead of 8. So, That's good. Any thoughts about that?
I like the trailer. Good. I thought that they released this tiny little, well, we haven't started filming yet, and here's the best we can do to get you excited type teaser thing. Or at least that's the one I saw.
Did they just have loads of
it was just kind
names
of
of films
things that were relevant at the time.
Right. Which
was great, because I remembered all of them and loved them all. So that was... I was, okay, yep, that'll do me, yep. And there was a guy at work today who... He'd been busy and he'd missed the last set of... Oh my god, it's the best thing ever that everybody had done. And somebody had suggested it to him, I think yesterday or the day before. And he said, I watched the first episode, and then we just didn't go to bed and we watched the second episode. Because he's a man of the... He was watching those films in the 80s as well. So
yeah. I'm kind of at the point with it now where if I find out someone who is up on TV like us hasn't watched it, I'm just like furious. I'm like, what are you doing?
You don't recommend they watch it. You're just
furious.
Yeah, well, I don't like it about myself. I hate myself for it, but it's my initial reaction is so like,
what's wrong with you?
Doing?
So
Have you been living under a rock? It's 8 episodes. It'll take you a week or 2. Get on with it. It's awesome.
I think you should do the quotes for all of the things that come out. The poster quotes. It's 8 fucking episodes. Just fucking watch it.
What
have you been doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. More sad news is that we're getting not just the season of Homeland that airs in January. We're getting 2 more.
Well, this is indeed tragic news.
Yeah.
Well, I've watched none of it, so...
Well...
Starts off pretty well.
The first one, second one, and some of the third one were quite good. They've done 4, right? Or have they done 5?
5.
Okay.
So this will bring it up to 8.
Then maybe the first 4 are
time...
reasonably good. I don't know. Hitman's in it, though, so if you like the latest Hitman movie, you can get to see him doing similar stuff.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. With more hair.
Yeah.
So that's Homeland, and we're all really pleased about that.
I remember when Homeland was TV series of the year and shit. It was for me, yeah. Totally. It definitely was for me.
How it has fallen from grace.
How easily we all make huge fucking mistakes. Right.
Yeah. Right, there's been news of a bunch of movie properties that are all getting TV shows in development. The first one of these was quite hilarious. Is Snatch, starring Rupert Grint of Harry Potter fame.
I saw him at a press thing recently I went to, which was quite funny.
Oh, did you?
He must have known about this
How
when we were there. He was... I don't want to say it because I don't think it's appropriate.
I bet what you wanted to say was he doesn't look anything like that picture in that article there.
He probably doesn't look like 11-year-old kid from Harry Potter. No, he looks mostly like that, definitely.
Oh no, he's had a haircut. He doesn't look too bad actually. I thought we were talking like a Haley Joel Osment type. You seen him lately?
Yeah, just take all of that bit out. That's a bit wanky. It's just a bit wanky. But okay. I will discuss it afterwards. It was quite funny.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he had a beard. Right. That's what I want to say. So he may have been. Maybe he was doing this. And it was only like a few weeks ago, a month ago, 6 weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah, Doug Ray Scott's going to be in it apparently, but yeah, they're going to reimagine Guy Ritchie's Snatch as a TV show.
Will you be in it dropping the
Crackle.
C-bomb every 5 minutes?
Is he going to be Bricktop? That would be hilarious. Big pair of glasses
Pedigree
on.
chum.
Errol. Feed him to the pigs.
Do you know what Nemesis means?
Fucking hell, Errol. Did you say...
Personification of a cunt. Me.
Well, okay. If I just... Okay. Yeah, that's a bit weird. That's
Cool.
Okay. The use of the word nemesis there is quite weird. Okay. Right, move on.
Okay. All right. The next one is Lost Boys.
Excellent.
I think that's been long ago enough for them to do something with that.
I would...
It's quite
yeah. I guess it depends. Have they cast anyone? Have they said who they're casting? If they cast the kids from Stranger Things, that would be awesome. They should be in all movies. They should redo the Goonies and stuff and Stand By Me and have those kids in it. Please do that.
That would be brilliant.
Yeah,
That would be awesome.
absolutely.
You could even redo Super 8
Flight
with
of the
those kids, and that
Navigator.
would be great as well. Quickly, they're growing up.
I'm wondering whether they'll sort of shoehorn a Flight of the Navigator-esque sort of cameo in there.
Yep.
That was such a weird film.
It's been written by Rob Thomas. Oh my god. Rob Thomas, who did iZombie and before that did Veronica Mars, which is still one of the best written TV shows I've ever seen. Even Joss Whedon did a cameo in it because he was so in love with it.
They're saying that this one is going to have a 7-season arc and it's going to span 70 years, which is cool for a vampire thing because you'll see people with the same faces, like, and
Vampires.
it's gonna start in the 60s and end like in 2037.
Oh, that's excellent. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's not a bad.
Have they had 7 seasons
premise.
commissioned then, or is that just the idea he's going in with to...
Well, I think that's the pitch.
Which network is it?
It's Warner Brothers.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But I don't know. Warner Brothers will make it, but then it'll be up to them to sell it to a network.
Throw it on Netflix,
So
for the love of God.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah,
so we don't
definitely.
have to deal with any shitty
Oh, well,
ads and
I have
placement
faith in
bullshit.
that now. Now I've spotted he's writing it. He's excellent.
You may also have faith in this, which is a Jack Ryan show that Amazon have commissioned with John Krasinski, him off The Office.
Mr. Emily Blunt, yep.
Yeah, Carlton Cuse is involved. And Michael Bay is exec producing.
Yeah! Cool.
What they're trying to do with this, it's got a similar budget apparently to a big movie. What they want to tap into, obviously, lots of people have played the role before: Alec Baldwin, Harrison Ford, Ben Affleck, and Chris Pine most recently. But what they want to tap into is that Jack Ryan, the character, is an analyst and a problem solver, and a little bit, not a massively awesome field agent. So they're saying that they want to, over the course of 10 hours, kind of explore that a bit more. And I think bearing that in mind, I think it's great casting because Jim from The Office, he means well, but he's a bit bumbling.
Isn't that what Chris Pine was like in the... I know Chris Pine is basically an action hero, but isn't that what the background of Shadow Recruit was? He wasn't a... He was not a field agent, but he became a field agent. It was okay. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I think
I've
so.
only seen...
He did actually get
I've
some
only seen the
rehabilitation
Harrison Ford
though,
one.
so I don't know whether he...
Yeah.
Because he was an agent and he got shot or something like that.
Right,
He was in the military.
Yeah.
And then he got something.
A memorable instalment of the franchise.
Well, it's really weird because I read the books, the original Tom Clancy books, and I really loved them. It's a little bit strange when the character jumps around and kind of like it's one or neither one or the other.
Yes.
And I'm still surprised that the Rainbow Six books weren't really made in, but then with today's climate, it's a little bit...
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they would work. I think
they'd be very relevant, but yeah.
Do you think he's good casting as someone who's read the books?
I think he works, to be honest. Jack Ryan, I always got the feeling from the books, was supposed to be a bit more of an everyman looking person. He had a team and stuff, and he he just somehow ended up, which is why I had no problem with Harrison Ford playing the role. I know he was an older version than everyone else, because it was more about the situations he ended up in, and he got enough training from just the basics to get himself out of them. That was it. Or by talking, or just everyone else was around to help him, pretty much.
If you've not seen Patriot Games, that's one of my favourite films
brilliant.
ever.
That is fantastic.
I could quote that for hours. Sean Bean's in it. I guess you know what happens to Sean Bean then, don't you? Right. It's not really a spoiler, is it?
Yeah. Game over.
Yeah. I think it could be good, but it would be... I know you've kind of ribbed me for the Bay influence, but it would be nice to have...
I think maybe the Bay thing might be nice, because I think adding a bit of Hollywood flash and thing to a TV show would be very interesting. Because that's what he wants. He'd want to do that. He'd bring as much of it as he could within budget, and it would just...
Yeah. But what I was going to say was it might also be nice to see a more Homelandy type thing. It doesn't have to be a Homeland clone, but something more of the nitty-gritty of doing the work rather than... And then he found himself in a car park that he had to blow up. Who knew that was going to happen? That might be a different take on it, but I think with Bay's involvement, he's going to be blowing shit up all over the place. Or finding himself in jeopardy every week.
I think it might be a bit more of a slow burn than that. I think they'll raise the stakes, and bearing in mind the kind of character he's played before, like Jim from The Office. I'm just imagining like Jim from The Office, but oh shit, nuclear weapons, what? Fuck, like I think it could be really good, bearing in mind his previous work.
Okay.
So I'm almost like can't even be asked to do this, but they've announced that there's going to be Passion of the Christ 2, which was the Jesus flogging film that Mel Gibson made years ago.
I think Marcus spoke for all of us when he said,
"Oh Christ!"
Literally, yeah.
Lacking very much any passion while saying it.
No,
is the subtitle "Kill Him Again Quick"?
It's called The Resurrection.
Oh, okay,
I think that's what it's all about.
Right.
So it's going to be.
I wonder what happens there.
Yeah, I think we all know it. Spoilers for
from
that
my
book.
The Easter egg merchandise is a good opportunity there, I think.
From my early religious background, I'm convinced there'll be a third part called Ascension.
Yeah.
Or The Return. I'm not sure. Depends how far they'll take it.
Yeah.
Well, it's got trilogy. It's got to be a trilogy, isn't it?
Yeah. If the third one's by Seth Rogen, it's going to be a sequel to
That'll
This
be
Is the End.
Sausage Party. Passion of the Sausage. That would be excellent.
And it'll be French. Le Sausage de Passion.
Oh my god. Well, the first film was all in Aramaic. It was like really brutal. Like, this film is not fun whatsoever.
You have read the book,
Brandon
right?
Wallace...
You know it's not fun anyway, that story. Jeez, I'm fairly sure you read
badly.
it.
I thought
I had it read to you.
There was.
I am surprised that Sean Bean has never taken up that role. Because pretty much guaranteed role for him, isn't it?
Of all the deaths, I have not quite got to the mountain of all deaths.
Well, I'd like to suggest that he may have taken up that role in Game of Thrones, and he will return in a later episode. That would be awesome. If his bastard son can do it, there's no reason. Well, obviously he's got the whole head thing, but yeah. Maybe he could just grow a new one. Just tape it on, it'll be alright. Bit of cable time, some masking tape, it'll be alright.
Joffrey was probably playing football with that thing and probably kicked it over the wall somewhere, and it's no one knows
I don't
where
think
it's
so.
gone.
Joffrey would have grazed his knee, and that would have been a problem for him. That would have that little cunt.
Yeah, I suppose.
Right. Oops.
Okay, yeah. Already mentioned. Well, not on this episode, but we mentioned Transformers: The Last Night will incorporate the legend of Arthur.
Sweet mother of
there was
Christ. Jesus, what the
casting
fuck?
It's just to make it more realistic.
Is it going to be like traditional Excalibur Arthur or Roman Arthur?
No, it's Excalibur Arthur.
Yeah.
Excalibur
I can
Arthur.
kind of
Okay.
imagine that. In the context of Transformers, I can totally imagine Prime going, "Oh,
We must go back in time and fetch the sword.
The sword.
Yeah.
Rah." Yeah.
Is Arthur going to be a Transformer? Is
Uh,
Arthur actually going to be Excalibur? Is this what they're going?
yeah, he's going to transform into a sword.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I loved the first movie. I really, really loved the first movie. I thought it was... I was too old to play with the toys and watch the cartoons and stuff, but it was a great feel-good movie for me, the first one. Some great lines in there and I've picked up a number of great bands off the soundtrack and stuff. And I thought it was great, but the subsequent, it's just been this has not been Bay's finest hour. I know commercially it has, and they seem to be making them for whichever country is going to pay the most money to have them things. So the last one was big in China or wherever it was and stuff, and that's fine. The industry is a damn business. But it's definitely been an example of how a great idea is then milked to fucking death subsequently.
Yeah.
True.
And
But then, that was the whole premise originally of Transformers, hence there were billions of them.
yeah. No,
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, people used to jokingly say Transformers, merchandise in disguise.
yes.
You know?
In the way that Pokemon are. There will no doubt be 27 Pokemon movies with people hunting around for the one they haven't got yet. And that's fine. That's if people want that, that's okay. But the dinosaur one was one of the worst movies I've actually sat to the end of.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long film
It's
as well.
a fucking horrendously
halfway
wrong.
through it felt like the film had finished. The beginning part with the Wahlberg family, the Wahlbergs we'll call them, whatever.
That first
that
bit, I
felt
thought,
kinda cool.
Oh, go
I
on,
really
go on,
enjoyed,
be
like,
like
the first
that.
third.
Be like the first one with a new family. That would work.
I really enjoyed the first third of that film.
Yeah.
And then I realised when it went halfway through that there was still the equivalent of a whole other film left.
Yes.
Was it nearly 4 hours long? Or something like that?
I think it was 3.
It felt like
it was nearly 3 or something.
I think it might have been over 3. I don't know.
Yeah, it was
felt
a
like
long film. Jesus. I think I just sat with it because I wanted to punish myself for something that day. It was like
Well,
I've done something wrong. I'll think about what I've done and I'll watch that.
A real cat and nine tails of a film.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember watching Dark of the Moon and thinking, is this going to finish now? It was the part where there was this giant spinny worm thing that was just chewing up the scenery. And I was
The
thinking,
giant metal balls.
Yeah, I mean, it looked good,
this
but
was-
where has that come from? Why is it there? What is the point? Can't these people
And
get
it just
CG
watched
work
it
elsewhere?
for half an hour,
fuck's sake?
just do its thing.
It was just what?
It's like, it was literally, we'd stopped and watched these Transformers, watched this thing chewing up the background.
I would expect the next one to be called Transformers: The Fall of Rome. And now they'll just go through different periods of time with, and just
Transformers, Passion of the Christ.
oh, there's a thing with the thing, and we've got to go back and get it from here. Woo, time travel. Christ, I know it's not highbrow, but it's hilarious. And I'm going to watch it. I'm absolutely going to watch it, without a shadow of a doubt. I will wait for a DVD or streaming release, but, Jesus. Transformers,
10-year-old Rob.
Transformers: The Passion of the Christ. Now, I think that would be a hit.
Yeah.
And then on the seventh day he rose.
And with him he brought the cube. Yeah. That would be excellent.
No, 10-year-old Rob fucking loves this fact that Transformers is a thing and has watched them all many times. If only
What, the
he
movies? Or
yeah. Like, holy fuck. I was so into it as a kid. Like,
have you watched all of these movies? Have you watched all of the Bay movies?
I've watched the first 3.
Okay.
I didn't watch the last one. I just couldn't be bothered.
Okay.
Do it.
So, yeah, okay, after all that nonsense, let's leave this on a high note. Have you seen the trailer for Arrival?
Oh, yes, my God, oh, yes.
This is the new film by Denis Villeneuve, who is fast becoming something of a prolific director. He's got quite a few good movies to his name now. Sicario, Enemy, Prisoners, and he's doing the new Blade Runner movie next, which gives me high hopes for this. After this movie Arrival recently debuted at a film festival somewhere.
Sundance, somewhere else, something.
It wasn't Sundance.
Okay.
It was.
It was a Cannes. Was it a Cannes one or something, or something?
I think it was Venice or somewhere like that. And it got really good reviews. Robbie Collin from The Telegraph called it "This is riveting, dizzying stuff." Gave it 10 out of 10. Hollywood Reporter, Time Magazine, all giving it very good reviews. 2 months ahead of its release, so it's not out until November.
Sorry to interrupt. There's one guy on IMDb saw it at a film festival, and the quote is, "Everyone in the theatre had their brains cheesed out at various points in the film." I think that means it's quite good, but that's
cheesed out. Wow.
It sort of looks like a really thoughtful sci-fi movie. There's this strange object lands, and they're trying to communicate. I think that's what it's all about. It's got Forrest Whitaker, Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, great cast.
Yeah. The trailer has bits that really lift from the abyss. I don't know if anybody's seen that Cameron film.
Oh yeah. Great film.
A long time ago, yeah.
It's sadly you can't get it. You can't get a good copy of it on DVD anymore because it was shot at the wrong. There's no good conversions for HD, so it's pan and scan, which is always a bit shite. But there were certainly bits of that where I thought, bits of the Arrival trailer where I thought, please be as good as The Abyss.
Yeah, it's got like a bit of a 2001 quality to it, like the fact that it's just a big monolith thing, and it's like, how do we communicate?
And the stuff in the ship just looks awesome. That looks absolutely awesome.
It looks very subtle.
Yes. I hope there is no Bayhem in it. That would be slightly disappointing.
I really doubt it. But anyway, something to look forward to, and I think we'll lead the show out on that trailer. This has been the Not Watching Podcast in partnership with notlistening.co.uk, where you can also hear myself and Ian talk about video games and virtual reality on the Not Playing Podcast, and Adam, Ash and Will talk about all manner of funny things on the Not Listening Podcast. The episodes are coming soon, I have been informed. You can email us at notwatchingpodcast@gmail.com, or you can tweet at or follow us on Twitter at notwatchingpod. You can find the show notes for this show at notlistening.co.uk, and if you're listening to us on iTunes, then please do give us a review. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for listening. See ya.
Bye bye.
Fare thee well, friends.
Not everyone is wired for what you're about to do.
So what do they look like?
You'll see soon enough.
Every 18 hours, a door opens up. That's where we go in.
It's done. Yeah, that just happened.
What happens now?
They arrive.
They need to see me.
Dr. Banks? Are you insane?
Now that's a proper introduction.
More objects have landed around the world.
This is one of 12.
I'm never going to be able to speak their words.
Got 2 days. Figure something out.
I am human. It's their language. We need to make sure that they understand the difference between a weapon and a tool. Language is messy, and sometimes one can be both.
Are you dreaming in their language? It's possible they're prodding us to fight among ourselves.
This is just a way to force us to work together for once.
It's more complicated than that.
How is it more complicated?
Russia just executed one of their own to keep their secret.
Got 21 hours
Before they start global war.
So how do we clarify their intentions?
I go back in.
Well, does this feel worse?